Welcome to Paradise, Indiana, the home of the Castle Knights here on the campus of Castle High School. It's the Jasper Wildcats with their 5-1 record against the Castle Knights, who stand at 4-1. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider, along with Bob Welp and Jeremy Marcos on the video. And Bob, it's the big football game again for the Wildcats, coming off the game last week against Central, where the Wildcats came up short there in a 24-17 loss, first loss of the season. And they're taking on a Castle team as we're getting set for kickoff here, but they are taking on a Castle team that right now they've got a 4-game winning streak, but this is a Castle team that's basically real heavy with the run game, just like the Wildcats, you know, kind of what we faced last week against Central as the kickoff goes there, and Wildcats have fielded across the 20. I believe that's Berger with the football, and he actually loses the football, but a Wildcat falls on top of it there. But, you know, Bob, just in regards to this Castle football team, Cats are going to be on offense first, and again, the Wildcats with a high-scoring offense, scoring over 31 points a game, but it's the Castle defense that only gives up 6 points a game.
Well, Castle is so much like Jasper. I mean, when I told you before the game that we live down here, everything about the community seems to be the same, so it's like an identical team out there. Castle will do with what Central kind of did. They will go ahead and move their defensive ends, sometimes put them in an up position, trying to take away man to the outside.
All right, so Blake Mann under center gives the football, actually hangs on to it, and he's got some running room as he's able to get across the 40 there, so he's got the first down yardage, so a pickup of 12 to start things off. And, you know, last week, actually, Mann was a little hobbled there in that second half, and so Grant Young had to come in and play a series of downs there, and but he was still able to rush for 118 yards net on 22 carries and a touchdown. And Lance Dawkins, of course, coming off another big 100-yard gain, 26 carries for 124 yards and a score there. But one thing, Bob, though, again, the passing game is just – it's not there right now for the Wildcats. And I think against a really good defense tonight that somehow, some way, the Cats are going to have to put the ball up in the air.
Castle's got a lot of weight across that front line. And I agree with you. I think Jasper's going to have to put it up in the air, but – when, like in the Rights game, you only throw the ball one time, it's hard to get that game time rhythm going.
All right, so Mann keeps it again on the second carry of the ball game, and so he's going to get, looks like to about the 43-yard line.
Well, we jumped into this right away, and Berger took the kickoff and put the ball on the carpet. And the way they had homecoming tonight, me and you were kind of cut off a little bit, but we were discussing last week where Jasper went down. I mean, it was points off turnovers. That was essentially the difference. So we were going to talk about in the pregame on how important it is not putting the ball down on the carpet. Jasper was fortunate enough to get that back. Now I think Mann's out there trying to make up for what he did last week.
All right, so this time he's able to pitch out to Berger, and Berger's getting across the 45. See where they spot that football. Looks going to just right at about the 48, maybe 49-yard line. So the Cats will have a third down situation here, short about 2.5 yards. And one thing I'm noticing as far as the formations tonight, Bob, is that, you know, typically we only have one. We bring our tight ends in, and we only have one man split out with our double slots. But in that last formation, we had two guys split out wide.
Well, with Castle's size and the quickness of their linebackers, the coaches are going to try to take the Castle defense and try to open them up a little bit. If they can get some of those outside linebackers not to shoot the middle so hard, when Dawkins gets the ball on the handoff in the middle, he should have some good yardage.
So Luke Dawkins is actually out there, and he pitches out to him. He gets the football and good running room to the right side. He's going to get that first down yardage, so we're now in Castle territory. So a big pickup of about 6 yards on that run on a 3rd and 3.
Well, I expect to see a big play here and there, whether it be from Mann, whether it be from Dawkins up the middle. But I think this game tonight is going to be a lot like with Central. We're going to have to really go north and south, and just what we've done on that last series of downs is get 3, 4, 5 yards and just eat up the clock, go down, punch it in. It's going to be very important to control this ball.
All right, so 1st and 10. Mann keeps it again to the left side this time, and he's able to gain some good yardage there. Gets inside the 42, and they're going to spot it right around the 37-yard line, so pickup of 8.
Well, with me being gone last week, when I pulled the game up on YouTube and I was listening to you and Coach Gable brought up a good point about the speed of Central and not going east and west and going north and south with them, and Dawkins did that. And Coach Gable also alluded to that when you play in the SIAC, you're going to have speed every week, and this week is no exception.
All right, so Lance Dawkins gets the carry there, and he may have lost a yard or two. Trying to see who comes up from the pile, number 57 with the stop there, and that's Sam Raleigh, number 57, 6'3", 196-pounder.
Well, I initially was with you. I thought that he gave the ball to Dawkins on the inside, but he pulled it out right at the very last second and did get around the corner. Got about a 3rd and 2s. So no question about it, this is 2-down territory.
All right, so 3rd down. Luke Dawkins comes in motion, and Lance does get it this time, and he's able to get the 1st down yardage. So the Wildcat rushing attack's still moving right along here, Bob.
Well, when you get into situations like that for Jasper, you alluded to the passing game. We got to get in our 3rd and shorts. We got to get in our 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4. You know, some people call that short if you're moving the ball pretty decent, put a couple of 1st downs together. But we want to stay anywhere from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 1. And that way, you feel pretty good, especially when you got Dawkins back there.
All right, so the Wildcats now with 3 split out. Berger and Albrand to our left side. Now Dawkins sees it. Now he sees a little bit of running room to the outside this time, and he's able to get to the 24-yard line.
Well, that was absolutely a wonderful run by Dawkins coming out. We don't see him coming out and keeping his eyes up and shifting his head and trying to make people miss. Usually he's the punisher going into the inside. But they shot the gaps on the inside, which forced him out. He kept his eyes up. He's seen that. He bounced the outside, picked up 8 yards.
All right, so just underway here at John Leidy Field here on the campus of Castle High School. The Wildcats have not played Castle since 1977. Game that the Wildcats won 40-6 back when the Wildcats were originally in the SIAC conference before joining again this year. And a nice slant pass right there is complete, and a reach over to the 10-yard line. So a big play there, and nice hookup with Foley, number 89.
Well, Foley's kind of hobbling a little bit when he got hit. They twisted going down. But he did a great job of looking straight at the defensive back. Once that defensive back took a half step back, that's when he cut into the skinny post. And boom, right there it was.
All right, so I tell you what, we'll take a break here as we got a timeout on the field. 7:06 on the clock, just underway here at Castle High School. No score here on 18 WJTS. All right, we're back once again here at John Leidy Field. The Wildcats against the Knights, and Wildcats with the football, 1st and goal, we'll call it, from the 10-yard line. As nice pass hookup between Blake Mango and Connor Foley. 15-yard play. And notice that Foley is splitting out as a wideout. Came in on that slant pattern last play. Dawkins gets it straight up, and he, as he normally does, if he's going man-to-man against somebody, he's gonna pretty well win those battles. So even though he's hit at the line of scrimmage, he's able to plow forward for about another 4 yards.
Yeah, it's just amazing that when you see the white helmets of Castle, when they make contact with Dawkins, even if he's got a man on him, how they just kind of bounce up because of the force coming against them. He is really an impressive running back.
All right. So, man, this time tries to run the option, but getting into the backfield, making a play. Number 52, that's Adam Watson. He's one of the leading tacklers on this Castle team, and he was able to make a big play there to knock him back to the, looks like they'll spot it about the 8-yard line.
Well, if you scout Jasper, you can't sell out with Dawkins going up the middle, because Jasper so many times, even inside the 10, has tried to get man to the outside and had a lot of success. But when you got the size and the strength of Castle and you're down here around the 5-yard line, go north and south.
All right, so the left-handed quarterback on a play action throws a bullet over here right at the goal line. Did he get across? Yes, touchdown. So finds Berger on that bootleg play. And actually, he did a nice job because the defensive end actually slipped up a little bit here. But again, man with good quickness was able to get to the outside and just threw a bullet right there.
Yeah, it was one of the better throws that I've seen him when he's been on the move. And if Jasper can get 6, 7, 8 of those in the course of a game, that will throw another team off just enough to where they cannot continue to slam those linebackers up the middle.
All right, so the extra point is booted right through. So the Jasper Wildcats take the opening kickoff and march right down the football field. once they got deep into Castle territory, were able to make some plays with the passing game, and a touchdown pass puts them on the board 7-0 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so Sermersheim put the extra point right through. He's going to get the initial kicking duties. He's been splitting it with number 80, Sam Leonard, but Sermersheim with a little pooch kick over there, and it's actually going to drop on the field and fielded right at the 30-yard line. Now the
good coverage.
Return man's going
good
backwards,
move.
But now he makes an outstanding move, a little stiff arm right there, and so he actually runs almost the whole side distance of the football field there, but didn't gain much yardage as he's able to get to they'll spot the ball actually at about the 27-yard line. So that's where Castle will start things off 1st and 10. And they are led by their sophomore quarterback, Cameron Tilley, on the season, 26 of 50 for 287 yards. He's thrown 1 touchdown, 3 picks he's thrown. So as a sophomore, he's got a really strong arm, Bob, but still some growing pains just kind of getting settled into that quarterback role.
Well, that'll see if Jasper kind of moves their guys around a little bit, give him some different looks and make him get confused there.
All right, so they pitch out on a power play there, and that's Peyton Grazzini, who's actually their leading rusher, 654 yards on the season. He's had 400-yard games, and he's rushed for 7 touchdowns last week against Wrights, a game they dominated 42-7. Grazzini actually with 22 rushes for 181 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game.
That was almost like the old Jasper power left
right.
Or power right. But what happened was we were able to stop their pulling guard, which gave us an extra man out there, and we were able to stop it. Same play here, just to the other side.
All right, but the Cats do an outstanding job of stopping that play. Of course, Sheeter's in on the tackle, but trying to see some other numbers out there. Number 24, Beekler. So the Cats doing a nice job so far defensively. Gave about a 4-yard run on the first carry and stops him short there. This would be big to get a 3 and out here, Bob.
Well, one thing that Castle's finding out right now is Jasper's got the speed to get to the outside just like Central did. You know, this is no night off for Castle. I know they're fired up with homecoming and all that, but keeping them in a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 is a benefit to us, without question.
All right, so Tilley in the shotgun there. Drops back to throw. He finds his tailback out of the backfield, but nothing doing for the Wildcat defense. Connor Foley kind of slowed things up, and then Sheeter right there to put a pop on him again.
Well, one thing that I didn't see last week, and I understand with Evans, you know, and his speed and all that last week, is when there were tackles out there, every once in a while you've seen more than 2 guys. We're used to seeing Jasper have 5, 6 guys around the ball, and that's exactly what they did on that series of downs on defense.
All right, so number 5, Trenton Bear is the punter for Castle, so a big defensive stop for the Wildcats there. 7-0. The Wildcats march right down the field on their first possession, and Blake Mann's back here to return. They're actually going to drop this all the way down to 1 second on the play clock.
Catch the ball.
And Mann is going to have to let that drop, so it's going to get a roll to about the 26, 27-yard line, so that's where the Wildcats will start 1st and 10. So again, the Wildcats with a nice drive down the field, mostly runs before they got to about the 25-yard line, then a 15-yard hookup between Mann going to Connor Foley, set him up 1st and goal, and eventually the 7-yard touchdown pass on 3rd down. Berger was receiving that from Mann, so the Wildcats up 7-0.
Well, let's just keep the ball rolling, keep it controlling. If we can go down, we can get a score. That's really going to put Castle on skates.
So still in that slot position is Luke, but Mann keeps it this time, so he's able to get upfield. So again, it just seems like Mann's seen a lot of openings out there, and this is really his football game so far.
Well, other than the Central game, when I watched the Wrights game and the Harrison game, when I pulled those up, and it amazed me on how much sellout through the course of the game that the defenses were doing against Dawkins when Mann was gashing them from the outside. They made no adjustments at all. And so far early in this game, Castle has not taken away the outside.
All right, so Mann keeps it again. And he's able to dive forward to the 36-yard line. He's still going to be short.
Well, that's a good point right there, Craig, where he, dove forward. He kept his body in motion anytime you've got the ball and you're getting hit, the coaches always teach you, fall forward, fall forward. You know, they've gone a little extreme this year when guys are trying to fall forward. You see about 4 or 5 linemen coming up, hitting them and pushing them down. So very achievable. Look for Dawkins on the inside.
All right, so 3rd and short, maybe about a half a yard or so, and now Dawkins is able to get there. And again, you give that guy a full head of steam. Boy, I feel sorry if he runs into him first there, and he's just going to take some punishment.
You know, when I was walking down across the field and he comes walking up, we're about the same height, and we're about the same size. The difference is he's actually in shape. And I mean, he is such a well put together young man. It is an imposing force coming through there for all defenses that face him.
So the Wildcats are converting 3rd downs. We had a 3rd and 3, a 3rd and 2, and then a 3rd and goal from the 7 on the first drive. And 3rd and 1, the Wildcats. 1st and 10 now from the 43. So Luke Dawkins comes in motion. Lance gets it, though, and nice defensive stop there. Number 9 making a stop. And he's not on, unless that's number 8, but I'll call it number 8, I guess. It's Henry Mitchell.
Well, also 72, I know they did we don't have the rosters like we normally do, but the way he was doing a loop to the outside, which was our strong side, that's where Dawkins came. The hole was there, that's why Mann gave him the ball, but as soon as he got the ball, the loop came around, and then there was contact.
Yeah, that's Jaden Allen. He's a senior, 5'10", 295 plug in the middle. Now, Mann is just caught in the backfield and had nowhere to go. Nobody made a stop there on number 57, Sam Raleigh, 6'3", 196-pound defensive end. So a big sack there for the Knights.
Well, we absolutely got blown up on that on the strong side over here. They were in the backfield. By the time Mann, when he comes around, he likes to be able to get to the outside, if not plant his foot and deliver it. Just kind of like when on his punch, you know, he's got a decision he can make. But by the time he planted his foot, it was over.
All right, so the Wildcats 3rd and 18 they need to go this time, so a little bit tougher than the 3rd and shorts they've seen earlier. But Mann with a bullet across the middle, and he's got Berger for the first down, and he's across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. I'm sorry, across the 45 to the 42. What a big play.
Well, he dropped the ball right over 52. I mean, thank gosh he didn't, wasn't a half-inch taller, because that ball just kind of went right over his fingertips. Berger kept his eyes on the ball, and it's a very difficult catch when you've got obstruction in front of you. You've only got a half second when that ball clears his hands to adjust your eyes to it. Berger did a great job. They didn't stop short of the sticks. He turned it upfield, went north and south. Jasper marches on.
So 23 yards on the hook up on 3rd and 18. Berger having a night catching the football. And there's Mann with a nice move and spin around, and he's able to get about 8 on that run.
Well, when he turned and the Castle defender had his hands around his hips in the initial hit, he did a little spin move and was able to get out of it. And when he got hit, he did what he did earlier in Jasper's possession, falling forward, getting us another 2 yards.
All right, we play 1 quarter at a time, and right now the Wildcats owning this quarter, leading 7-0 here on 18 WJTS.
Watching you, sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. So good, so good, so good.
Singing along with the Castle fan base here.
Hey, man, classics are classics. They play a little Shock Me off Kiss Alive 2. I'm going to lose my mind.
All right, they got the play clock running as the Jasper Wildcats run out here, so the referee really wanted to get things going. So the Wildcats with a 2nd and 2. Ball rests at the 34, so man under center. 1 man behind him, of course, is Lance Dawkins. Setting up the Wildcats here was a 23-yard pass hook up to Berger. Now Mann looking to throw again. He's
just
throwing,
get rid of it.
And he's able to elude the rush there. And again, what a quick quarterback, of course he is. He's able to get the first down yardage, so runs out of bounds right there at the 30-yard line.
You know, that's what's so impressive about Mann. Even seeing him in the amount of games I've seen him in this year, sometimes he still surprises me with his stop-start speed. because when he went out, we were looking 2nd and 3, what have you. Don't take a big sack, just get rid of the ball. But he trusted his legs, and let me tell you something, he got a lot of real estate. Move the sticks.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 30. Berger in motion this time. And he has to stiff arm the man and pitch out to Berger, and Berger is met right there. So another big pop there. And again, I'm seeing number 9. I don't know if but again, he's not on the roster. So, and yeah, one challenge we have tonight is that Castle actually did not print out the rosters for anybody. We had to basically hit a QR code to be able to pull it up online here. So I'm kind of having to thumb through my phone here to be able to give you some of the numbers. But big play defensively there, knocks the Wildcats back to the 35. So 2nd and 15 from there.
Got it in motion. That was a good read by Castle.
That's number 33 pumping his chest. That's Braden Till. So he made a stop there. No gain on the play for Dawkins.
Well, Castle's getting a little fired up, and they're doing a better job right now. They're taking some chances on the outside. They closed up the inside. They're taking their 4-down linemen. They're taking their interior guys and moving them out a little bit, kind of putting their linebackers in a little tight. So you got an offset line there, but essentially within 3 yards, you got 6 guys. Look for Jasper to sneak in a counter here. I would say before the next 2 or 3 series, a counter is there right now as hard as they're going.
So 3rd and 15, passing situation again for the Wildcats, but a penalty flag flies in the background, and we got to delay a game. Oh, man, we can't have that happen. So the Cats, too slow to get that play set up, makes a long 3rd down situation even longer. Now 3rd and 20 from the 40.
Well, that falls on man. He's got to know that these referees are really being a fleet of foot and getting that ball down and getting that play clock started. And he's got to get him up there. He's got to recognize that. That's one duty that he has is to look up, see that play clock.
So 3rd and 20. Now the play clock's down to 8. So again, they waste no time, and Mann's just got to keep an eye on that. So he's going to have to get this snapped. 1 second. He does get it off, but the Cats run the option here. Mann's got it. See some running room to the outside. He's able to get across the 30. So he's going to pick up about 12 there, but it's going to be a 4th down and probably a little too long for a field goal try here, and Cats are going to have to go in that 4-down situation. It'll be 4th and 8 from the 29-yard line.
Well, with the great gain that he had on 12 yards there, that changed Coach Lewis's mind. Instead of playing the field position with the punt, where we were sitting at, moving back to the 10, the 15, but I'm with Coach Lewis on this. I think you've got nothing to lose. You got to get the win tonight, be aggressive, and just get after them.
See some space over here to the right side if Albrand can get open. Now Albrand makes a move. Mann throws it out there. Albrand comes back to catch that football, and he does. A huge play.
That was a heck of a catch.
Gets it to the 16-yard line.
Did a really nice job of seeing the ball in the air, seeing that it was going to really come up a little bit short and take his route and kind of curl it back into a little hook. Caught the ball, and when he caught the ball, the defender was able to kind of twist him, put him in an awkward position. But with strong hands like Albrand's got, he was able to hold on to it, give Jasper 1st down.
All right, so a 13-yard hookup. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. So he's starting to spread it out with his receivers. And actually, Mann keeps the football this time. He's going to get inside the 15 to about the 13. And noticing, actually, one player we're not seeing tonight is Isaac Day. Did not hear what his injury situation is, but Luke Dawkins getting the slot call tonight, so Day is not involved in the passing game tonight, but he is spreading it out. Connor Foley with a catch, Berger with a couple, and now Albrand gets involved.
Yeah, and not having Day in the game, that tenacity, that leadership, that is definitely missed. So the other guys got to step up, and it seems like they're doing a heck of a job just doing that.
All right, so he keeps it himself, and actually, let's see if he lost the football there, but number 91 putting a nice pop. That is Kenny Butler, 274-pound defensive tackle. The big stop there to make it a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 9.
Well, I really thought he was going to give the ball to Dawkins, because when he takes his hands and kind of extends his arms out a little bit, That's usually when Dawkins keeps it. But Dawkins was hit immediately by big old 91. Man did a nice job of just hanging on to the ball.
You know, the other thing, too, see, as far as the passing play, is actually they're going to run the option. Berger is good behind the quarterback, but Mann's able to get, I think, inside the 10 or close to it there, but he's going to be short. They need to get to about the 6-yard line for the first down. But I'm just saying, in passing situations, if you're going to split out a 6'5" receiver like Connor Foley, again, you know, those jump ball situations where you just kind of put it up and let your man make a play. But the Cats look like they're going to put some points on the board, or at least attempt to with the field goal.
Well, seeing what he does in the extra points and how far he drives that ball through, he should have no problem getting this. The question is, will he get it between the uprights?
So it's going to be a 30-yard attempt. Snap. Kick is up.
Good.
And the kick is good. I take that back. It's about a 28-yard attempt. So a 28-yard field goal puts 3 more points on the board. Sermersheim does his job there. Jasper 10, Castle nothing here on 18 WJTS. So another scoring drive for the Jasper Wildcats. This ends in a field goal, 30, or we'll say a 28-yard field goal. So number 12, Sermersheim doing his job tonight, and Alex is out there to kick off another one. So he pops it over there to be fielded. Number 71 fields it at the 20-yard line, and he lumbers his way for some yardage there. So that's Sloan Cox, 6'1", 263, and he's able to get it to the 30-yard line. So actually not too bad of a return there, Bob.
No, not really. But the one thing Jasper's doing is the deep backs. You got the 2 up backs from them, and big old 71. He's supposed to be the lead blocker, but Jasper's doing a nice job of getting it to those guys. Even though they have strength, they don't have the speed of the deep guys.
So Castle facing a 10-0 deficit right now as they have the football and pass out here, and that's actually number 89, Colin Schneider, and he makes a move, and he gets across the 40 and still moving as Blake Mann wrestles with him, and he lunges forward another 3 or 4 yards. So almost a 20-yard pickup on that first down pass play. Nice play by Schneider there.
Well, Castle's going to get their plays tonight. We just can't let them put them in succession. You know, spread them out through the game. But in that lineup right there, I'm kind of surprised the Jasper coaching staff didn't call timeout, because they had 3 receivers over here and we had 2 defensive backs.
So Cameron Tilley, the quarterback, this time he will give it to his tailback in the backfield, and he gets a nice run. He's able to pick up 5 yards on that play. So Gazzini with a nice play.
Jasper did a nice job of actually getting the tackle on there, because they were all picked up by the offensive linemen, but they were able to slide off the backside, get him around the hips. Of course, when somebody's running in front of you, you got them around the hips, they're going to drag you, but they didn't give up a big play. So a good stop here, get him 3rd and long.
Actually, it's 2nd down, so play action. Now they got the bootleg to the right side, and Cameron finds a man underneath, and he hooks up right there with number 87. So a little hidden route there for Gabe Van Wormer, and the tight end picks up a first down.
Well, he also had the up back that he could have got it to in a little screen out into the flats, but that opened up. And you were mentioning that he is declared to play college ball in baseball. So he's got a good arm, and he showed it there. And throwing like that on the run is a challenge, but he's up to the task on that play.
So Castle in business from the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Gives it to Gazzini there, and Gazzini weaves his way through the line and picks up another 4 or 5.
Well, in a few of the defensive possessions that Jasper had early in the 2nd quarter and all the way through the 1st, we had brought a little bit of heat. Right now, we're not bringing any heat. So if the linemen are able to get into our guys and drive them back, they're almost guaranteed 3 yards every clip. We've got to bring some heat from the inside and switch this up on them.
5:10 on the clock here, 2nd quarter. Jasper up 10-0, but Castle on the move. And Gazzini gets it to the right side. Full head of steam as he gets the first down yardage and rushes the football across the 20 and puts him into the red zone. So a pickup of 7 on that run.
And doing a nice job of putting 2 arms on the ball when Jasper's hitting, because when Jasper's hitting them, especially when they get in the back, the guys with the quick hands are trying to strip that ball out. I love to see one happen for Jasper, but Castle doing a nice job on that part, protecting the ball.
So with the traditional I backfield now with the fullback, Berzini's in the backfield, but actually they give it to Schneider on a quick handoff as he was coming into motion. Not much there, so the Wildcats doing a job stopping that. Sheeter again in on the play.
Outstanding speed from the backside of the Jasper defense coming through. Went forward to the right, that closed off. He's planted his foot, tried to come back in the middle, but our pursuit from the backside was able to drop him for a 3-yard gain.
.410 on the clock. Continues to run. 2nd and 7. Give to Berzini on the right side.
Nice
now
move.
He gets it through, and he's able to bounce off another tackler there in the backfield, and he gets it in for the touchdown. So a 13-yard run, and Castle's on the board.
Jasper threw up a couple of arm tackles, and that young man is too strong to bring down with one arm. Got to get in front of him, put your face mask in his numbers, and drive him down. But he did a good job of kind of bouncing in, bouncing out, getting hit and spinning, and getting into the end zone. Never thought we'd shut Castle out tonight, so, you know, they get some points. Let's see if we can get them back.
Yeah, over the last 3 weeks, Castle scored 35, 28, and 42 last week. So they finally get their first touchdown on the board, and the extra point is straight through, and we've got a football game. Jasper 10, Castle 7, 3:56 to go here in the first half when we come back here on 18 WJTS. Jackson Mitchell will kick off to the Jasper Wildcats. The Castle Knights, a 70-yard drive, 7 plays, 2 big pass hookups on that drive. One going for 20 yards, another for 16 before the 13-yard touchdown run to put them on the board. So that's Berger who fields it, and not much running room. Nice job there, coverage. Special teams, Evan Reff, number 28, making a play.
Castle special teams did a real nice job of breaking up our wedge on the inside. That's where Berger was heading, but as he's seen it start to collapse, he had to bounce it back out. And, you know, it's not what we usually start off, kickoffs, punt returns, you know, up around the 30. A little short here, but we got 3:41, we got 3 timeouts, we got plenty of time. We need to get some points and take the momentum away from Castle.
All right, so the Wildcats are going to have to go 81 yards. Ball rests at the 19-yard line. Mann's all alone this time, so he's able to spin his way forward for a gain of about 5 or 6.
Mann's doing a really nice job tonight of staying under control with his upper body whenever he's twisting, because his head is still rotating from the left and the right, and he's anticipating twisting right out of that initial contact to where he can bounce it to the outside or the inside. Now Castle had some good pursuit from the backside there to kind of go over and give him some help, but Mann's reading pretty good right now.
Clock continues to run. We're at 3:05 right now. So Mann's going to keep it, and he had a pitch man out there, but he was wrapped up, so it was too tough for him to be able to get it out there because number 52 making a play is Watson.
We have got to throw some counters in here to get that pursuit to loosen up a little bit. They are selling out. If they don't see anybody in motion going the other way, I mean, they are just selling the whole house. And if you can get past that initial line, you've got a lot of green pasture in front of you.
Sam Rowley also in on that play. He looks like a nice, quick defensive lineman. So a 3rd down for the Wildcats here, 3rd and 7 with 2:22 on the clock. Man looking to throw, chucks it out there. He's got a man, but he's overthrows his receiver. So he was trying to hook up with Connor Foley.
Well, I
didn't have enough air on the ball there, Bob.
No, absolutely. And when he went back, it seemed to me like he released it a little bit too early. Now, he did have some pressure coming from the backside, but Mann's strong enough to where he doesn't have to have the perfect stance to get that ball down there. But, you know, on the bright side, he's put it on too far, so if our guy doesn't get it, they don't get it either.
And the situation here is Castle's going to get the football with about 2 minutes to go, so the punt is there, and it's fielded at the 47-yard line, trying to make a move, and the Cats are able to field it, but number 33 made the play there. And that is Mason Ailstock. And so Castle's got outstanding field position. 2 minutes to go. 2 timeouts. They took one on defense earlier. So they're going to be at the 45-yard line, trailing by 3 right now, 10-7, where the Knights will be 1st and 10.
When the punt comes out that low and the guy's running up forward like he did, Jasper did an outstanding job to hold that to a 7-yard return.
All right, so Castle in Jasper territory from the 45. Schneider comes in motion. Now it's a play action. Schneider's wide open there, but he's looking downfield, and he does dump it off, though, to Schneider. And he's able to make a few moves there and picks up about 8 yards. I think he wanted that home run, and why not? Because he had no pressure there, Bob, and Schneider was just running parallel with him, so eventually he had to dump it off there. But, yeah, looking long.
Well, he had 3 options. He could have ran the ball, and he could have got maybe what they had and got out of bounds. He had the short guy, which he took. He was looking long. We did a nice job of floating back. The problem is our linebackers on the backside got caught up in traffic and couldn't get out there and help.
So 2nd down and 3. Quick pitch out here, and it falls incomplete right through the hands of number 82, and that's Sam Boyer. He's a senior, 5'7".
Well, Castle's definitely in 4-down territory. You take a chance right there. You know, with 1:25 to go, it may have benefited them to let that hit the turf, stop the clock. Jasper has got to hold up here. This is a very important down.
Right. And the thing is, if you can get to the quarterback and get a loss here, you know, I'd say if you kind of push them back maybe around the 45 or even further back from there, could be a situation where you force them to punt. But if they get a little bit too close there, but actually Castle's going to call the timeout. So 1:25 on the clock. Jasper 10, Castle Knights 7 here on 18 WJTS. So the Castle Knights hustle back out on the field after the timeout. 3rd and 3. Ball's resting at the 37-yard line. 1:25 to go here in the first half.
Well, the young man's got it rolling right now. Quick pitch.
Yeah, he does pitch out to
Goodbye.
No, look at that. And he's still on the sideline before he finally gets knocked out of bounds. But telling you what, Peyton Gerzini is a player, man.
He gets out there, and when he's able to go north and south, you know, that's the only way you gain yards, although a lot of players we see out in today's game like to go east and west a lot. But he has no problem of turning his chin straight towards that end zone and just grinding his legs and getting good yards.
So Peyton Gerzini picks up 12 yards there. 1st and 10, ball at the 29, actually. Jasper calls it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1:19 left here in the first half, 10-7 here on 18 WJTS. All right, 1st and 10 for the Castle Knights.
I think that timeout had a lot to do with Coach Shelton trying to get his guys fired up.
So ball at the 24-yard line. They try a pitch and catch out here. Schneider's got to see a penalty flag flying and maybe a hold, but he's able to get down inside the 10-yard line on that run. But we'll see if it comes back.
It's either a hold or yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
I was going to say maybe a man downfield because a couple of their horses were about 8 yards down the field. So they could have went either way with that, but I'll take the hold.
Tell you what, look at some of their offensive linemen, particularly number 79, Richard Myers, 6'5" junior, 278. Good size player there. Number 63, that is Cade Virgin, 6'3", 288. So they got some good size on that left side there.
Well, they got a little bit of quickness north and south, but the way they're able to move lateral and pick up when Jasper does stunt, and we're bringing some heat and we get picked up.
All right, so the receiver's going to have to slide to catch that one, so he's able to hook up with his tight end, Weston Agner. Sophomore slides his way for about let's see where they spot that. Gets about 10 yards back.
Well, when you stunt, when the coach calls the stunt and you're bringing heat, you have the option to pull out of that. If you're coming up the middle and it's clogged, let it go.
Oh, a bullet right there, and the Cats had a chance to pick it off. Giesler could not hang on to it. It was just right there for the taking. And so the ball falls incomplete. We got 40.3 seconds. Ball, it's at the 24-yard line. 3rd and 10 for the Knights now.
Well, regardless of whether the Knights get another yard or not, their kicker is outstanding. So I've seen him put 2 of them in around 40 yards. So, you know, he should be floating around that range. So if Jasper can be fortunate enough to keep him out of the end zone, they do have a weapon in their kicker.
So 3rd and 10. He gives it to the tailback.
What a
Peyton
nice
makes
cut.
a move, and he's able to cut forward, but good job by the Wildcats to eventually close that up. And again, Sheeter in on the play.
Boy, he does such a nice job of bouncing that ball in the middle. Now, Jasper's pursuit is really, really good. The problem is it's almost too good to where we are a yard and he plants that foot and he cuts back. If you're on your backside pursuit and you have a couple of Wildcats in front of you, you must drag your feet and take away that back cut. And where all of us are just flowing so hard, when he does make that cut, that leaves us susceptible to moves in the inside.
All right, so Castle lets it go down to 2.9. Now they're going to decide if they're going to go for it on 4th and 5, or will they go for the field goal. So we'll find out when we come right back. Jasper 10, Knights 7 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so Castle brings out number 4, Jackson Mitchell, so they will attempt a field goal. He's spotting it right there at about the 26-yard line, so that's going to be a 36-yard attempt.
Well within his range.
So this is the tie of the football game to go into halftime. So he pops it up there, and he's able to, no, he's actually just to the right, I guess. I thought he had enough leg there, but it does not go through. So the Jasper Wildcats will go into the locker room with a 10-7 lead. Castle does get the football to start the second half, but Bob, what are your thoughts on that first half?
Well, it was extremely, Jasper was very fortunate not to have Castle not put any points up. We've seen in the modern day game their kicker from 43, and he cleared it by 10 yards. So evidently he got under the ball. Jasper goes in. Even if Castle goes in and they score when they get the ball at the first half, that's still, touchdown could still win you the game.
Right.
You're still one possession there. As far as the offense and defense, I was really surprised Jasper did not bring the heat like they did in games previous. But these linebackers have to understand, even if the heat is called for them and they're stunting, if it's not there, don't just get clogged up in the middle. Take a few steps back, because when you leave, that opens up that middle, and they hit a couple of those. And that was 7-8 yards. And when you're looking at, first down and you get 7 yards, man, that makes your offense feel great. We got 3 downs to get 3 yards. So give it up and just play that zone so they can't sneak in, and get a little bit more aggressive on the back sides. Other than that, it's kind of what I expected.
All right, so Castle will have the football to start the second half. When we come back, Jasper 10, Knights 7 here at halftime on 18 WJTS. We're at halftime here at John Liddy Field on the campus of Castle High School. The Castle Knights against the Jasper Wildcats. Cats with a 10-7 lead over the Knights. And we'll take a look at some of the numbers from the first half. Total offense for the Wildcats, actually almost double the plays, 30 plays to 16 for Castle. Jasper had 30 plays for 142 total yards. Castle 16 for 110. And for two teams that really like to run the football. Now, getting some numbers for Castle in the rushing was Peyton Gerzini, 8 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. The Wildcats, actually Blake Mann is leading the charge again with 55 net yards. He actually had 7, but a couple of quarterback sacks and losses there. Left him with 15. But I'll tell you what, the impressive thing for both these teams that have not been big passing teams. Castle coming into the football game only averaging about 57 yards a game through the air, and the Wildcats passing game has really been just 188 on the season coming into tonight's game. But Mann was 4 of 5 for 58 yards and a touchdown. Cameron Tilley for Castle, 5 of 7 for 56 yards. But the big thing, Bob, is that a lot of those pass plays really helped them, as far as their drives, their scoring drives. Caleb Berger had a 23-yard reception and a 7-yard touchdown catch. Connor Foley with a 15-yard reception, and Jack Albring on a big third down situation with a 13-yard catch. And that was actually on the drive where the Wildcats actually got their field goal. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, both these teams are heavy rushing attack, but it's the passing game that I think is keeping both these teams active on the football field.
Well, both defensive lines for Castle and for Jasper are doing a good job of getting into the legs, which is taking out a lot of that inside running that Jasper and Castle like to do. Now, on the other hand, when you were talking about their passing, both man and the quarterback for Castle had time to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. They were able to go down through their progressions. At one time, man dropped out, and he was looking for Allbrand going deep. He came into Berger underneath. He hit Foley on a real nice cut in. I don't know that was his initial target. So the offensive lines are doing a good job of keeping pressure off the quarterbacks, and being that they're having time to, kind of work down the ladder, so to speak, the passing numbers are up.
Well, and the other thing, too, when it comes to, as far as the defensive numbers, the Wildcats have only had one tackle for loss, and that was only for like a 1-yard loss compared to Castle's had 5 tackles for loss. They had a big sack there, but they were led by Niles Sutton. He had 1 tackle for loss, and Adam Watson actually had 2, but Sam Raleigh had a big sack on the quarterback, Blake Mann. But, I think it's just a situation where the Wildcats are just going to have to get in Castle's backfield and make some of those defensive plays.
Well, one thing that's happening is when Jasper does bring heat, every once in a while in the games previous, we would bring heat between the tight end and the tackle, which would put our heat coming in from the outside. When we're stunting the middle, Castle center and their 2 guards are doing such a nice job of clogging up that middle. Our guys are flying in there, and they've got no place to go. And when they get tied up with the offensive linemen in there, they're not doing anybody any good and really hurting the guys in the back, because now the middle of the field's open, and these guys that are playing zone 3s, and they're over here by the 30-yard line, they got a big circle they got to watch. Now the middle's open, so now they got to take that circle and they got to widen it out. And when you got a quarterback like Castle does that can put some heat on the ball, it's pretty tough to get to those receivers.
Right. Because, again, his big hookups were to Colin Schneider. He had a 20-yard hookup. Gabe Von Wormer had a 16-yard, and Weston Agner with the 13-yarder. But, again, just the Wildcats, though, I think you get a 3-and-out here, hopefully get some good field position. If Castle's not able to move up the football field here on this first possession that they'll have to start the second half, trying to get good field position and all that. And again, just get some nice sustained drives, to use, milk that clock and then just try to build on this lead.
Well, you were talking about their young quarterback. The one thing about a young quarterback is you're going to get either he's awesome or he's not doing with a hoot. Mm-hmm. Rarely with a young quarterback do you get somewhere in the middle. So if Jasper can get him, get those sustained drives like you were talking about with their offense, they keep him on the sideline. His rhythm starts to, break up a little bit.
Right.
He threw a couple of balls in there where Jasper should have had, some interceptions. So if Jasper can kind of bring their stunts from the outside, although he does a good job of when he drops back of staying inside that pocket, if Jasper can rush the youngster, maybe we take one to the house. And that would change the whole complexion of the game.
All right, so Castle is out there on the football field waiting for the second half kickoff. And, again, you can see their alignment. We saw on one of their kickoff returns, number 71, Sloan Cox. He's out there in kind of one of those up back positions because you got number 29 and 81. Of course, 29 is Garzini, who's their primary tailback. Number 81 back there is Matthew Jackson. But, Jasper's done a nice job keeping it out of their hands on the kickoff so far.
Well, it's the big plays to where you don't want to get the squib kick right back to him, big old 71.
All right, and he's going to get another return. His last one was for about 10 yards or so, and he fielded it right there at the 30 and get to the 40. So I'll tell you what, he's been impressive, because a lot of times they'll just fall on that ball. So number 71, he's actually one of their offensive linemen too. So Sloan Cox doing the job when they kick the football to him.
Well, I understand that we're trying to keep it out from their deep backs because they are dangerous and all that, but we're giving up the 40-yard line right off the bat. So even if they get a 20, if they catch the ball, the deep guys, and they get a 20, 25-yard return, we're in the same spot. But if we hit them, so, high risk, high reward in that situation.
All right, so Tilly is under center to start things off, and Gazzini
Nice
gets
play.
the football, and nice job defensively for the Wildcats. Big pop there. Actually, it is Day, number 31, so obviously he's just playing defense tonight. So take that back. We didn't see him on offense, and he makes a nice defensive stop there. And, you know, we're talking about tackles for loss. That's a good one there for a loss of about 1.
Well, it's huge. It's kind of making a statement now. We'll see if we can continue that out throughout that series. But when Day came in, he slowed down. He took care of his assignment. Back cut wasn't there.
So 2nd down and 11. Mazzini gets it to the right side, and Cats are there to stop it. So, again, good pursuit to kind of make him cut inside so that the defense can make the play. Berger's in on the stop, but also number 69, Quade Pope, who runs off the field, but a good job here for the defensive line.
Well, I talked earlier about how similar Castle and Jasper are in communities, schools, athletic programs. Jasper right now kind of looks like Castle's defense on those first 2 plays right there. They're selling out on the outside.
So 3rd and 9. Quick pitch out to Schneider. He's able to haul it in, but the Cats are able to get there. And good job by Sheeter. Now I take that back. It was number 58 making the play. So good job by Jacob Potts.
Well, Jacob played, pretty decent against Central. He had some good plays there, but to get out there, it almost, this first series of the second half, but it almost seems to me that Coach Shelton's statement to his defense were, boys, get on your horse and get to these points before they can make their cuts, because when they get in open field, that's when they're dangerous.
All right, so Castle will have to punt here. Number 5 is Trenton Bear. He is their punter.
We have Day back there.
So they get it down to 1 second, and Cats get there, and they're getting into the backfield. Good job by Merringer. Boy, he was quick to make the punter commit, and the Wildcats clean it up after that. But, man, number 1, Merringer's been just the guy on special teams, especially on that punt team this year.
Jasper was very, very fortunate right there because he got a face mask, and they didn't call it. Now, he brushed across it. You know, they have their different ones. I don't know so much about high school, but in the upper levels, you have your 5, your 15. But you know what? They needed to make a play, and they did. And that's all that concerns me right now. We need to go down, put it in the end zone, take this momentum right away from Castle.
Just what we need. 1st and 10 from the 36. Outstanding field position. Man keeps it, and he's going to have to dance around there. Number 72 was showing some quickness. Jaden Allen makes the stop there.
Boy, these defenses are just fired up.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
So a 1-yard loss. So 2nd down and 11. Ball rests right at the 37-yard line now. Just underway here in the 3rd quarter. 9:08 on the clock. First possession of the second half for the Wildcats
here. There should have been a flag there.
Did not get it, but man, cuts inside, and he's able to get to about the 35-yard line. And you kind of noticed Day looked like he was more than, typically whenever you're trailing your quarterback running parallel on that option there, but he looked like he was about 7 or 8 yards away, so a little too far for Man to try to make that pitch.
Well, and it's a great read by Man to see that, Unfortunately, what happened in Central game, they picked the ball up and they went the other way. By him controlling that ball and getting us down essentially into 4-down territory, but not making that big mistake, could be a big, big blessing. Even though the play didn't do anything, it may be a blessing for Jasper.
All right, they actually run a reverse, and that's Berger if he can get around the corner, but he will not. Nice job defensively. Number 22 was able to take his feet away, and that is Devontae Hughes.
Nice quickness for him getting out. But as we talked about in the first half, we knew Jasper was going to sometimes get that counter in there. That's one of those where he either makes the play or Berger's still running. And, tip of the hat to him. That was a heck of an open field tackle.
So Castle went 3 and out, and good pressure on the punt forced the punter to try to make a play there. And so Jasper had great field position at the 36-yard line. Right now it's at the 34, but a 4th down, and Cats are going to call a timeout. So we'll take our first break here of the second half. 10-7 with 7:35 to go here in the third quarter on 18 WJTS. Coach Tony Lewis, 11-5 in his second year at the school, and we get a chance to talk about Castle's coach. That's Doug Hurt. 15 years at Castle, 108-59. He's won 6 sectionals and 1 regional in his term here at Castle. So his defense now facing a Jasper Wildcat, 4th and 9 situation here, and Cats are going to go under center.
Let's see if they play it safe or bring hip.
They're going to actually throw, and he's got a man out there, and he's able to, oh, he actually knocks it away. So a good defensive play there. Number 33 coming up and making a stop. That's Mason Ailstock.
The Jasper receiver actually turned into a defender. The ball was a little late getting there. He was initially open, but then it floated. It instead of it being a tight spiral, and it can't cut through the air as fast. But the ball was late getting there, and Jasper did a nice job of not letting him intercept it because he's on that sideline all by himself.
All right, so the Wildcats not able to take advantage of the pressure on the punter. Great field position from the 36. Now you got Castle 1st and 10 from the 34. They trail the Wildcats 10-7, 7:29 to go here in the third. So play action there. Now all the time in the world to throw, and he throws a bullet out there, and is it picked off? Yes, it is. What a defensive play.
Boy,
that was Peter, number 2. What an outstanding play by Ross there, as he just threw a bullet there, Bob, and he just stepped in front of it and ripped it off from the receiver.
That was just, I want it more than you do. You know, Coach Rolleder back in the day always preached, do you want the ball more than the other guy wants the ball? Peter absolutely wanted that ball, made a big play for Jasper, and that stumble that we had in our first series of downs after doing that great job on their punt, we need to move the ball down the field. We need to get points. We got to keep that momentum on the black and gold side.
So the first turnover of the football game for actually both these teams. Man drops the throw, looking downfield. Now he's got it wide open to the right side. Tons of room. Boy, he could take us if he gets that block right there. Good job by Foley, but he's able to run it all the way to close to the 20-yard line. And hopefully, we do have a flag on the play. Oh, boy.
Man, a little slow getting up on that one.
See what this call is.
Well, they got him out of bounds, and they were about a yard out before they pile drive him to the ground, but I didn't see where the flag came.
And it's against the Wildcats, so this is going to come back. So I guess it was on Foley's block. I don't know about that.
No, Foley didn't do anything. He was straight up. The numbers were facing him.
So now we got a penalty flag on the other side. So Coach Tony Lewis is over there with his arms crossed. So,
well, the referee that threw the flag, if it was down on Foley, that would really make me scratch my head because he had no line of sight. Hopefully this is just a sideline warning against Lewis. He was really, really upset over there.
Well, we'll see. Sideline warning. Okay, so that's against Jasper, so that won't be an illegal block in the back.
I really didn't see it.
All right, well, again, the penalty is going to be walked off here, and so that's a block in the back, so they're actually going to go 10 yards from the spot. So this is going to be a first down, though, for the Wildcats.
Well, that kind of lessens the blow a little bit, but Jasper had a couple of plays in the first half to where it really looked like they could be doing something and, kind of shot themselves in the foot. But, luckily for Jasper, that was a spot foul.
Right. So it actually was about a 24-yard run, but then the penalty pushes it back 10. So the Wildcats are going to have the football at the 33-yard line. But again, a good scramble by the quarterback, Blake Mann. So the Cats 1st and 10 from the 33.
Well, you put the penalty behind you. You got first down and 10, good field position. Let's go push it in.
All right, so now we're going to run the option. He pitches out to Day on the left side, so Day's able to lower his head. But actually, the ball came out, but I guess they're going to say he was down. So, yeah, he was down right there at about the 31-yard line, so a 2-yard pickup.
Well, a big break. You know, the ground, of course, can't cause the fumble. But we can't even get that close to getting that ball out. You know, we've got a little bit of momentum going here. We have got to keep it. We cannot go to an opposing team's field and give them chance after chance after chance after chance, because you're going to get snake bit.
So again, the second time the Wildcats have had great field position. This time Dawkins gets it on the left side, and I think that's what they need, is just a heavy dose of Dawkins right now, and he's battling his way, trying to get that first down yardage. I think he's going to be real close.
Well, in
yep, it is.
In 6.5 minutes of this third quarter, Dawkins hasn't touched the ball when Jasper's had it. That particular time, they had a little trap to the backside. Dawkins hit it and got up the field, because when we do our triple option, he always goes to the side of man, and they're crowding that side. That was a nice call by the coaching staff.
So number 23 gets it to the 23, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 23 gets it again, and a quick flag thrown there, so we're going to see a hold.
Flag on the play.
If that is against Jasper, they have got to clean this up. Chop block.
Yep, chop block on the Wildcats is going to move them back 10. So right there from the spot of the foul, which is about the line of scrimmage, so that should move the football to about the 33-yard line.
The chop block drives me about as crazy as the holding. You could literally call those every single time. Now, I know the chop block, this guy's low and this guy hits him high, but I've seen that on several of the traps that Castle has run to the far side, to where the initial lineman from the right tackle will be in the legs, and the pulling guy just cleans him out.
So that's actually 15 yards, moves it to the 37. So the Wildcats 1st and 25. Now Dawkins, and the ball pops out, but Cats were able to hang on to it. So he's actually able to get the ball to about the 33-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 4.
And that's just absolutely, it makes me scratch my head on how many times that ball is coming out. You've got to know that the team over there in blue has a lot of strong guys on there. You know they're going for the ball. When there's anybody within a half yard, you have got to have both arms on there.
So 2nd down and 20, we'll call it this time, from the 33. Play action. Man, he's got a man wide open if he can get it there, and just too tall for Allbrand. So a couple times he's had receivers deep, but not enough air underneath the football, and so that one falls incomplete, stops the clock at 4:23. So the Cats will be facing a 3rd and very long, 3rd and 20 here.
Not a bad-looking ball coming out of his hand, but you have a left-handed quarterback rolling to the right and, trying to throw across his body, and especially on a deep flag like that. Boy, I tell you what, that is a tough thing. And he got it close, but you got to hit that.
All right, so 3rd and 20. Do you pick up just enough to make it a more manageable 4th down situation, possibly field goal? But they're going to go for the touchdown here, and that's Connor Foley. And
there was contact.
A little bit of contact, but I think it's incidental. Actually, if anything, it was probably the offensive player getting a little push there. So Foley's not able to get underneath that football. So a 4th down here, and yeah, I tell you what, let's see, we're at the 33-yard line. I would say definitely you're going to go for it, but yeah, it's obviously going to have to be a home run ball.
Well, and hopefully you get a flag or defensive holding, which is 5 yards, automatic 1st down. You're looking for something like that. But I tell you, if this early in this 3rd quarter, if this is any indication of how the game's going to go, I don't know if you don't play field position.
All right, so we got another timeout on the field. So 4:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter, 10-7. Jasper still leads, facing a 4th and very long when we come back here on 18 WJTS. So the Cats have got to get 20 yards for a 1st down here. 4th down. Man from the shotgun this time. And look at the pressure. Look at the big-time pressure, and he's going down. Oh, boy. So Jasper, who twice, their 2 possessions, first one was from the 36-yard line of Castle, and the other one 46-yard line of Castle after the interception. Cannot do anything with great field position. and gets knocked back to the 44-yard line. So that's where Castle will start, 1st and 10 on their 3rd possession of the second half.
Castle's doing an outstanding job with their defensive ends, bringing them guys in and crashing hard. I just don't know about that call.
So 12-yard loss sets the football, 1st and 10 from the 44 for the Knights. Zini to the right side. So he's going to pick up 3 on that play.
Well, the way this defensive struggle's going, it almost seems like if one of the defenses can get the other one to make that one key mistake, that may be where it's decided, other than the way the offenses are playing right now. Neither one of them has showed anything here in the second half.
So 2nd and 6. Rossini gets it again on the right side, so they're going to try a little power football as they're able to get to midfield there on that play. Set up a 3rd and 4.
Well, their coach is each play call is going for 4-down territory. And what they're getting in the first 2 downs, they should have no problem moving the sticks. Jasper's got to hold them to a no gain.
So actually into Wildcat territory at the 49, 3rd and 3 now.
Really bringing the defensive backs up.
And Grzani with a big head of steam, but a penalty flag flies late there. So we'll see what the call is.
Well, the odds are it goes against Castle, as many that's went against the white shirts.
Unless it's a face mask or something like that. Nope, it is a hold against the offense, and so they'll do it from the spot of the foul. It looked like he had the 1st down yardage, but that hold's going to move him back. They'll get the down back, so it'll be 3rd down, but 3rd down and about 8 yards they're going to need.
Did I not make a mention earlier in the game about how similar these teams are? Jasper's moving on their last series, holding call, blocking the back, you know, brings the ball back. Now Castle's done the same thing. So if Jasper can hold them to a 1-2 yard gain here, that really plays into their hands.
So 3rd down and 8. Give it to number 29 again, and he's going to get that 1st down yardage and even more. So he's able to rush it all the way to the 45-yard line. So he picks up 10 on that 3rd down and 8.
He's doing such a nice job of getting to the edge. Uh-oh.
All right, so we've got another flag, and actually that's sitting right there in Castle territory. So all right, so another hold takes away a 1st down, so 2 straight holding penalties. And so now Castle, they set the football at the 38-yard line, so Castle needs about 15 yards on this play.
I get tickled with the fans from the opposing side. I think that those 2 calls may have been the first 2 penalties against Castle, and they're yelling call it both ways.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so 3rd and long. And they still give it to 29, and Jasper's right there to stuff it. So good job defensively for the Wildcats, and they're going to force Castle to punt. So neither team's able to put anything on the board yet here in this 3rd quarter. 2:04 to go. Jasper still with a 10-7 lead over the Castle Knights. And, you know, the other thing I'm actually just kind of realizing, I think this is our first football game on natural turf.
Oh, yeah, it takes you back, doesn't it?
So,
well, I tell you, both offenses really doing a good job of shooting themselves in the foot.
So Isaac Day's back there to receive the punt, standing at the 25-yard line. And he's able to get it off this time, and there's a fair catch called, and he's able to haul it in right there at the 30, 32-yard line maybe. So that's where the Wildcats are going to be, 1st and 10. So, again, not as good field position as their first 2 possessions, but still not too bad here. And the Cats, again, we talked about just getting a nice long drive here, and, you know, if they can put 7 more points on the board the way this game's going right now, that's going to be a pretty decent lead.
Yeah, that'd be tremendous. And it will also definitely take us deep into the 4th quarter, and it will put all the momentum on our far side.
So Dawkins gets it there, and He is met hard by number 58, Niall Sutton, who again led them at halftime as far as tackles. He had 7 tackles in the first half.
I can't imagine that the coaching staff did not tell Mann to, when he's reading the defenses, that he's not paying particular attention to the 2 linebackers on the inside. They are starting to lean on where their stunts are going, whether they're going out to the tackles or they're coming to the inside guards. Now they're stacking the middle.
So another dose of Dawkins there, and not as many yards on that run. Will set up a 3rd down.
Castle does a nice job of getting down into Dawkins' legs. Now, I don't know that I want to be the recipient of him bringing one of those tree trunks up into my chin, but he does a nice job of keeping his feet really going, but they're not hitting him from the side like some of these teams previous in the year, to where Dawkins is just going to blow right through them.
Right. Okay, so they got to get to about the 41-yard line, about a yard or 2 short here. So Mann keeps it. Now he's able to power forward, and he's going to get close to the 45, so that's a 1st down for the quarterback.
Well, they sold out on Dawkins, and they made several nice attempts at trying to get the man, but our offensive line, when they realized that Dawkins didn't have the ball, their linebackers started to come to the outside, and our offensive line did a nice job of curling back, pushing them a little bit, and Mann's strong enough to drag people, for a couple of yards, and it gives us a 1st down.
All right, so a physical 3rd quarter ends with no points on the board for either team, so we're at our halftime score at the end of 3. It's 10-7, Jasper over the Castle Knights here on 18 WJTS. All right, we're ready for the 4th quarter here. 10-7, Jasper leads. They have the football at the 45-yard line and a 1st and 10. Dawkins gets it left side. Look at the open space there. He's going to get the 1st down as he's able to get across the 45-yard line, so a big pickup there.
Kind of makes me nervous, him just keeping it in his one arm. Now, his one arm's probably stronger than most people's 2 arms, but he come through there. But in that particular case, it was the linebacker from the backside that made the hit on the side, so he really couldn't get to the ball. But we just got to keep going, and I'm with you, Craig. Let's send Dawkins up the middle.
So actually Giesler playing a slot here, but Dawkins gets it to the right side, and again, nice job by number 58, Niall Sutton, making the stop.
Well, that was a really nice stop by Sutton, but he was kind of the benefit of losing his footing, falling down and rolling up into Dawkins' legs, and Dawkins essentially tripped over him. But, so we essentially got 2nd down and 10 here. It's 4-down territory, so let's just get a couple of downs, get a W, and go home happy.
Giesler again in motion, but Mann keeps it, and he is going to maybe pick up about 3 on the play. So now you got Day and Berger coming back into the Wildcat backfield.
Well, now Castle's doing a nice job of changing their defenses up a little bit, but if you pay attention to the guys that are outside, the tackles, whenever they're faking that into Dawkins' belly, they're actually stepping 2 yards up. So if man comes, they can need him, make him pitch it early.
All right, so from the 42, 3rd and 7. Mann's going to look to throw. Drops back, throws a bullet, but he's way short of Albrand there. Actually took a pop in the backfield. Number 57 was able to get to him, but a little bit late was Sam Raleigh. So now the Wildcats are going to be forced to punt, and so now it's kind of a game of field position.
Absolutely. That it seems like when the offenses can get something going, they shoot themselves in the foot. Missed assignment, penalty, fumbling the ball out to where they recover it, but they can't get any extra yards out of it. So whoever wins this battle right here with field position is probably going to go home with the W.
So Mann with a nice punt, if it could stop, but nope, it's actually going to go into the end zone. So Castle will have the football at the 20-yard line. 10:01 on the clock. Jasper 10, Castle 7. Neither team scored in the 3rd quarter. It was a 10-7 halftime score, so that's where we still stand here. And the Wildcat defense is just going to have to keep doing the job.
Absolutely. Now, anybody that's watches this third quarter, they're going to say, no points. Boy, what a defensive, battle's going on here. Both offenses were moving the ball. Both offenses had consecutive penalties to stop their drives.
Right.
So, we're going to have to tighten it up a little bit.
So Gerzini's way in the backfield, so it actually gives the Wildcats a chance to close in on him once he got to the line of scrimmage. Blake Mann read that all the way from a safety spot.
Well, 89 came out and tried to block Mann and get him out of the way, but doing a nice job of locking him up and, doing a good job of when he tried to bounce it back to the inside of rolling off his block and making the tackle. I'm sorry, was that Mann or Day?
It was actually Mann who came up from.
Okay.
Actually, it might have been Ross Peter. I'm sorry. Mann's not out there. All right, so now Gerzini sees an opening, but Berger actually came up and made a tackle. Boy, he looked like he was just going to take off for a big one, but Berger makes a nice play to keep him even getting from the 30-yard line, so that's going to set up a third down. Nice job there coming up by Caleb Berger.
Yeah, Jasper did try to get up there, get pressure, because Castle hasn't thrown the ball yet, so they're thinking that it's coming. And when you bring your heat up like that, like he just got past the first line of defense, you've got yards. Caleb did a great job of putting that down.
All right, so the quarterback's just going to ride the wave there and actually still on his feet. There he goes. Oh, there was a block in the back, but no call. Allbrand, I'll tell you what, Pettis totally got pushed in the back there, but the penalty flag did not fly. But I'll tell you, it was just a quarterback sneak, and it looked like the play was stopped, but Tilly kept going, and boy, a huge play.
It was one of those to where the guys in white were looking over at the other one to make the play. I mean, his momentum was all but stopped. And then we gave up, and he kept going. The whistle didn't come, and there he went.
So a 37-yard run. Now Castle really in business from the 33-yard line of the Wildcats.
There it is.
Tilly's going to want to throw. Foley's trying to get there, but he throws it out to the sideline, and it is snagged. Nice play, a beautiful throw, and number 85 able to haul that in right there on the sidelines and keeps his feet in as Eigner.
Oh, it was really nice defense by Jasper. But when you got a quarterback that puts the ball to the outside and you got a guy that can plant his feet and stretch out and pull it in like that, I mean, sometimes, even though the play goes against you, you got to tip the hat to the other team. That was very nice.
So a 37-yard run, and then a 12-yard hookup. So the quarterback for Castle doing the job. The sophomore looking sharp here on this drive. Now he gives it to Gerzini on the right side. But, again, that's the thing. I mean, the officials are not blowing the whistle dead, but Jasper's got to keep playing until that whistle's blown.
Absolutely. You play to the whistle blows. And as we had talked about earlier in the game about, Jasper falling forward and how a lot of times nowadays the linemen are taught to get behind their runner and keep pushing them, and that's exactly what happened right there. But when his momentum stops, the whistle's supposed to happen.
All right, so the quarterback under center this time. Gerzini gets it to the right side. He sweeps to the outside, and there's Peter. Has to spin him out of bounds, but he's going to get the first down. So first and spotted actually, they're going to spot it at the 11.
Nice job by Peter to come up and hit, but when he made contact with him, and they were shoulder pad to shoulder pad, and that young man's so strong, it's going to be very, very difficult to bring him down, tackling him high.
So just enough for the first down. So Castle with the football, first and actually 10. It's from the 11-yard line.
It's very, very, very important for Jasper to hold Castle to 3 points here. Hopefully 0, but we just got to make a stand. They're getting in too many second and third and shorts.
Gerzini gets it again. Now
Nice
he's going to cut the other side of the field, makes a spin move right there close to the goal line, and does he get in? No, he's going to be short, but it's going to be close. It's going to be enough for a first down, though, so it's going to be first and goal. So a 10-yard run there for the shifty tailback, and so Castle knocking on the door, first and goal from the 1.
We're tackling too high. We have got to get down low. We've got to make them feel our hits, and we're not doing that. We're just glancing off of them.
Quarterback's just going to try to plow forward. No call yet. And they do. So the far sideline judge over there saw him get across the goal line. So Castle had the football to start things off from the 20-yard line after the Wildcat punt and went in the end zone. But a 37-yard run by the quarterback, Tilly, a 12-yard hookup, and then just runs by Gerzini, gets him down to the 1-yard line, finished off with a 1-yard plunge by the quarterback.
Well, running back's running really hard, but it boils down to we are not hitting them like we have been hitting teams previous.
So the extra point goes through, and Castle's got their first lead of the night with 6:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. 14 for Castle, 10 for the Wildcats here on 18 WJTS. So the 4-1 Castle Knights against the 5-1 Jasper Wildcats. Jasper trailing now by 4, 14-10. And they kick it deep, so Cats will get a chance for a good return here. From the 5, that's actually Merringer, and boy, he takes a pop. Nice job there by number 92, Chris Butler, to stop that quickly. And now you know if Jasper got back to the 20-yard line.
So many games this year we've seen the Jasper Wildcats jumping up and down, all fired up. Well, it's all on the side of the blue right now. Jasper needs to take it away. You know, welcome to the SIAC. You will have to earn your victories.
Right. So actually the ball is at the 18-yard line. So Jasper, and again, you got to get a touchdown on this drive. Trailing by 4, 14-10. 6:01 on the clock here as man goes under center. And they give it to Dawkins. So Dawkins gets some yardage there. Gets across the 20 to about the 22.
I think at this point right here, unless man really sees something open up, I ride Dawkins for a while. Man's been taking some pounding. He's been playing, you know, defense back there. He's made some tackles, and when he's made those tackles, you know, he's dished out some pounding. So his body's taking some abuse tonight. Try to get Dawkins the ball a little bit.
All right, so Dawkins to the right side, but again, not much there. Number 52 coming up quickly, and that's Adam Watson. So now 2 plays net 6 yards, so the Cats facing the 3rd and 4.
Well, it's when you really refuse to put the ball up in the air in the second half like they did in the first half. I think they had 3 attempts here in the second half, and they can just play the run. You know, that makes for some tough sledding.
The Burger's in motion, but, actually, he pitched out the Burger there, so that's going to be close to a first down there. So I got caught up following Dawkins there, but the actual option play went to the outside, so they're not indicating if it's a first down or not, so it is not. So it's a 4th down here for the Wildcats, and 4:34, 4:33 clock running right now. Down by 4, you got to go for it.
Well, you absolutely do. You've already used one of your timeouts. And the way Castle's been, you know, getting their first downs and chewing it up, see if they're selling out on the inside.
They give it to Dawkins. He got an initial hit there, and then I think he was able to get that first down yardage. So,
boy, he is a man.
Boy, he just kept moving. Boy, a really tough 2 yards, but a 2-yard gain that was necessary. So that briefly stops the clock at 4:09. Cats will have the football right there at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
He got hit a yard into the backfield, bounced off. You could see his pads kind of shake a little bit. Got hit again, bounced off him, and then drug another 2 guys a half yard to get that first down.
So great determination by the senior tailback. So 1st and 10 for the Cats. 3:35 on the clock right now. Man, he's going to have to scramble. Keeps looking downfield, throws a bullet over there, and it gets tipped up and almost intercepted. Man, oh man. That was number 58 who almost got the tip ball there, and that was Niles Sutton over there. So stops the clock at 3:37.
That was one of those pass plays to where if it's not in the perfect spot, you got no shot. And when you're rolling against your body and you got pressure coming up, well, I tell you what, it's only like the best of the best that can get those done on a consecutive basis. I like what Mann's doing as far as getting to the outside, making guys commit. But boy, that is very, very difficult to do.
So 2nd down and 10. Man hit, and they stopped the play. They called it dead, and now we got a penalty flag over here. So we'll see what this is. They called the play dead, so
yeah,
that was not a fumble there. But we got a penalty flag on the unsportsmanlike against Castle. So a big break for the Jasper Wildcats.
Boy, I tell you what, it could get to the point here to where regardless of how hard these teams play, the penalties could decide the game.
I'll tell you.
Well, what happened was when he fumbled the ball, you and I both seen it. They whistled it before the ball really even came loose. And then after they did that, the play was dead, and he came in and slammed Mann.
So a 15-yard penalty gives the Wildcats great field position now at the 44-yard line. 3:27 on the clock. Clock is running again. They got the chain set, so 1st and 10. Down to 3:16 on the clock.
Just keep it rolling. They helped you out, so now you got to help yourself out.
Man drops back, throws it out here, and a high snag right there by Albrand. What a play by number 4, the junior. He went high for that football and hauled it down for a 9-yard gain.
Well, I hear the Castle fans over here yelling for a hold, and they're not wrong. But when Albrand went up for that ball, that guy was draped all over him. So you could have, very easily had offsetting penalties, but getting late in the game, sometimes the referees, even though Jasper got the big break there on the unsportsmanlike, usually see the referees just keep the flags in the pockets.
The pass play puts the ball at the 47-yard line in Castle territory. Man, left-handed quarterback rolling right, throws another bullet out there to the sideline. I think he's got Albrand again, and Albrand hauls it in. So 2 quick plays gives the Wildcats a 1st down.
Well, I tell you what, that was a very nice play call, the way he rolled out and the way Albrand came back to the ball, because everybody knows that when you're receiving the ball, if you've got pressure, you have got to go back to the quarterback. But in a short situation like that, one thing I've noticed about the Castle interior line, they're starting to creep a little bit further out. Man may just tap a center on the rear end and say, here we go.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the 39. Stop the clock at 2:21. Now he's looking to throw the opposite side, and he connects, and that's Berger. Or was that Day? No, I take that back. I think that was Day. Or Foley, I guess. Okay.
Well, if you keep going, Craig,
eventually I'm going to get the right receiver. So, all right. But, hey, a huge play there. Little misdirection pass play going to the opposite side. And now ball's at the 26.
Yeah, Chanley, now he's jumping up and throwing those fists in the air. He's fired up.
All right, so they give it to Dawkins, and that play was slow to develop, and Castle makes a stop there. Clock continues to roll. 1:41 on the clock.
Well, with 2 timeouts, in high school ball, you get a 1st down, the clock stops. So Jasper's got plenty of time here, but here late in the game, you want to see the handoff between Dawkins and Mann go a little smoother than that.
So we're at 1:25, clock ticking, and we got a timeout on the field. Actually, Castle's going to call this timeout. They had 3. Jasper's down to just 1. So we got 1:24 on the clock. We'll take a break. Knights lead by 4, but the Cats are moving here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Jasper Wildcats with the football at the 24-yard line. 2nd and 8, 1:24 on the clock, trailing by 4. Mann throws again. He throws a little bit low, and he's actually on. The ball pops out, so they're going to say it's incomplete. He's going for Foley again over there.
Foley did a nice job of getting low. When you're as big as he is, to get your hands on there, but that's when the contact came. So, well, it boils down to this, Craig. 2 weeks in a row, Jasper's going down to their last series, and they've got 2 downs to get 8 yards.
All right, so 1 minute and 19 seconds. Clock is stopped. Man's going to go under center. Quick drop back. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. He's got some running room if he wants to go for it. And runs right out of bounds. I think he got to about the 21-yard line. That's where they're going to spot that football. So only a gain of about 2 yards. So stops the clock. So a big 4th down situation here. 4th and 5 for the Wildcats.
Well, this is for all the marbles.
So last week it came down to a 4th down play for the Wildcats, and right now that's what they're facing here. So they got to get 4 or 5 yards for a 1st down. Ball rests at the 21-yard line. 1 minute and 11 seconds to go. Man rolls to his right, chucks it out there, and throws it out of bounds. He was going for Albrand on the sideline, but kind of did a little sidearm sling, and ball sailed to the right side. So the Castle Knights, very jubilant on the football field, are going to win this football game.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know, you kind of think of man rolling out a little bit, give him the option of getting the ball down the field or turning on some speed, you know, and trying to get that. Now, Castle's got good side-to-side speed, so nothing's guaranteed, but dropped him back that deep and then having him throw across his body, well, that's a lot to ask from a young man.
All right, so all Castle has to do is pretty well sit on the football. They take a knee here. Jasper's got the 1 timeout, and we'll see if they spend it. Well, they actually will, so they call that 1 timeout. We got exactly 1 minute to go, so. But, yeah, Bob, I tell you what, you know, Jasper 2 weeks in a row going against 2 of the top teams in this SIAC conference. Again, we looked at that stretch where it's going to be Central on the road, Castle on the road. Next week, Evansville North on the road, and Jasper both times put up valiant efforts and right down to 4th down situations, but just not able to make that play.
Well, I think it shows a lot of character for Jasper in the sense that in the Central game, they were down 14-3. They could have tucked tail and run. They did not. They battled all the way back into that. And, you know, you have Castle here, and, you know, for the 2nd week in a row, they're going to come up a little bit short. But, you know, they're over there kicking themselves in the tail because you and I, even with our old eyes, could pick out 8 or 9 plays that, you know, if our guys are in the right position. But, you know, you got to give credit to Castle, too. Castle is a heck of a football team. They lost their first one, but it really seems like they're starting to gel. And number 29 for them has done a really good job. And the battle in the trenches, Castle's going to get the win, but, man, they really got after it. There was some paint swapped on those helmets tonight.
Right. You know, and I think it's also a night when you look at Castle's football team and where they're going to go throughout the rest of the season. You know, again, it's number 15, their quarterback Tilly. He's just really starting to come of age.
Oh, it is not a good thing for someone like myself or opposing team, you know, sitting here and seeing a young man that's a sophomore that he threw some great balls tonight and had some speeds on him. And once he gets a little bit more experience under there and maybe his receivers and him get a little bit more timing, nobody knows how many yards he's going to put up.
Right. And that's the thing. Castle is a 5A school, so, you know, Jasper will not have to face them in the postseason, obviously. But, you know, again, this is just a football team that I think is just getting better and better week by week. They did miss the 1 game against Boston. They had some players test positive for COVID, and so they had to miss that football game. So that's why they played 1 less game than most of the other teams in the conference. But just have to take 1 more knee here once they get inside that 25 seconds, and that will roll it out. So, you know, it's been since 1977 since the Wildcats have played the Castle Knights. The Castle comes here in the second half, just only 1 score. They were down 10-7 at the end of 3, and that's the difference in the football game. 14-10, Castle beats Jasper tonight.
Well, we can point out all kinds of things, but as you look to the future, you know, we've got 2 games left. We've got North and we've got Vincennes. And then I think it's October 8th when they're going to do the actual drawing. They've got to change it up a little bit this year. But anyways, going to Central and going to Castle, hard-fought games, you're really bummed out that you got the L. But, the guys never gave up. They have been battling from the start to the end in every game. And there's no shame coming down here getting knocked off by a 5A school on their home field. So Jasper played hard, did some good things. I'm sure there's some things that the coaches want to clean up. But all in all, good effort by the black and gold.
One other thing, too, that was nice to see is that the Wildcats have a passing game. Again, we've got receivers like Allbrand who made some nice snags tonight. You always got big Connor Foley and obviously Berger. And, so that's another thing that they can just kind of clean up a little bit more and make that more of a part of their offense as we try to, continue on with this season. Because, again, we got another tough one on the road against North next week.
Yeah, if they want to, get a couple of W's here to end out the year, which is really huge because you want to go into the tournament with momentum, they're going to have to get that passing game going. The further you go in the tournament, the bigger your defensive line is going to be. It's going to clog up the middle. Jasper's got to get quite a few passes into these games. I know that the running game's working, but there's some real studs in 4A this year.
Right.
As far as teams go. So they're going to be able to – they're going to have to get their timing down because game speed, as you well know, is a whole lot different than practice speed. But all in all, I'm still pretty pleased with the Cats right now.
Well, and like I said, the game against North next week, actually North another 5A team, but I was trying to take a look at what they had this week. They're actually on the road at Vincennes, so a game that they would have been favored going into. But, again, Mater Dei knocked them off last week, so we'll see how they're able to rebound. So, but again, it's just week in and week out in this conference that you got to come ready to play every single night.
Oh, absolutely. And let's be honest with each other. When we talk to people at the beginning of the year, especially the way some of the sectionals have went when we've played the Evansville schools in the past few years, if you would have told a lot of people we would have been 4-2, I'm sure there's a lot of people that would have taken that.
Right.
Because there was not a whole lot of people giving Jasper the credit that they deserved.
Sure. Yeah.
And so Jasper's come up. They fought valiantly. I've said in a couple of games ago, their never say die attitude, and that's why the score's 14-10. When things really went against them, they could have tucked tail and run like the Central game, but they didn't. They stood up and they fought hard, and they gave themselves a chance at the end.
All right. Well, we're hoping to get some stats here, but again, we had to set up actually outside, which is a beautiful night out here. It's getting a little cooler. Actually, here comes Dave with the stats, so I'll try to run these down real quick. Dave Messmer. The man, thank you very much.
He's got some good speed.
Yeah, so I wanted to at least run through some of these before we call it a night, but he gave me both defensive stats. That didn't work. All right, well, defensively, the Wildcats were led by Ross Peter with 7 tackles tonight.
Yeah, he played good.
Yeah, or actually 5.5. You had 4 solos and 3 assists. But, talk about that Wildcat defense tonight. Again, you only gave up 14 points against a team that's been scoring really well over the last 4 weeks.
Well, we got in early into the second half, and the offenses were both moving the ball a little bit, and then they shot themselves in the foot with both teams getting consecutive penalties. But Peter was hitting hard. I mean, we're sitting up here pretty good distance from the field, and you could hear the collisions out there. So I thought their defense did really well. Their passing game in the first half really started to gain a little bit. They didn't let the running back run as crazy in the second half as they did the first half, so they made some good adjustments at the half. But look, Castle is a 5A school. They've got a lot of solid guys, and Jasper's going to end up – it's good to play Castle because Jasper's going to end up getting into the tournament. They're going to run into those guys like Castle that have the big guys, but not only are they big and strong, they're fast too.
Right.
So Jasper's quickness, Jasper's conditioning has done them well in not falling flat on their face in some of these games. But, we've got to get away from the arm tackles. Last couple of games, we've reached up. We tried to pull people down with one hand. These teams in the SIAC, they're too strong for that.
Right. Well, and the other thing, too, nice thing about playing Castle now, because we always play them in the middle school. You know, they actually have 2 middle schools down here. And so we play them in our middle school conference and all that. Play them freshmen. We played them in JV. For so many years, we just did not play them in varsity, but now it's going to be a regular game every year now.
It does my heart good to know that there's, you know, such solid teams down here. And even though Jasper came down with the loss tonight, it's sure and a heck a lot more enjoyable for me to see Jasper battle the way they're battling against Castle than playing Washington and Princeton and winning 56-0.
Right.
You know, when the game's over. And well, the Boston game this year is a prime example.
Yeah.
Game was over. Man played, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
He almost played as much as Dawkins, and Dawkins was injured, didn't play.
Right.
So, but we had talked about the gauntlet they were going to have to run. They came up short, but you know, the big thing is the way the playoffs are set up in high school now, to where you don't have to earn your way in. Everybody gets a shot. You know, get a couple of wins, get one next week, get home, you know, senior night against Vincennes, get that W. You know, feel good about yourself going in, and we should be fine.
All right, so the Wildcats dropped to 5-2 after the loss, 14-10 to the Castle Knights tonight. Castle improves to 5-1. So for Bob Welp and Jeremy Marcos on the video, my name is Craig Schneider. Thanks for watching Wildcat football here on 18 WJTS. Good night.